My purpose, to go on with my heart and soul, devoting all my energies to Girl Scouts and heart and hand with them. We will make our lives and the lives of the future girls happy, healthy, and holy. Juliette Gordon Low, taking a stand to inspire girls of the world. In 1912, a change was sparked in the lives of many women across the globe. Started by Juliette Gordon Low, the Girl Scouts were an inspiration to many women young and old. The idea of the Girl Scouts was first established by Agnes Baden Powell at age 51, but Juliette made the changes she saw fit to make it her own. By the time Miss Low stepped down as president of the Girl Scouts, there were approximately 70,000 participants. This number increased to 168,000 by the time of her death in 1927. The Girl Scouts currently have an estimate of 2.7 million members across the nation. Juliette Gordon Low was born on Wednesday, October 31, 1860, in Savannah, Georgia. All throughout her school career, Juliette was sent to many prestigious boarding and preparatory schools, meaning she was never allowed to hike, swim, and play like so many of the boys she knew. Because of her eccentric ways, she was an uncontrollable child, always wanting to play with the boys, though she never could because of the expected attitude of women during the Civil War era. During her childhood, Juliette was partially deaf. During her wedding, a small piece of rice was lodged in her ear, only making the deafness worse. She eventually used her disability to her advantage. It wasn't until after her husband, William McKillop, divorced her did she meet the founder of the Boy Scouts, Robert Baden Powell, who gave her the idea of creating the Girl Scouts. The Girl Guides were originally led by Baden Powell's 51-year-old sister, Agnes Baden Powell, and the idea was passed on to Juliette. She later changed the name to the Girl Scouts. Little did Miss Low know that many girls in England had been showing up to Boy Scout meetings with handmade uniforms just to get to be a part of the adventure. By starting the Girl Scouts, Juliette Gordon Low gave the girls of the world a new opportunity to break free from the expectations of society and finally be themselves. Funding the Girl Scouts and their activities was not an easy task. Juliette asked many people and families to donate and volunteer to help these girls get to be a part of the world. At one point, she was forced to sell a valuable pearl necklace to get funds for the organization. It wasn't until 1917 that the Girl Scouts began selling the famous Girl Scout cookies. The first cookies were peanut butter sandwich, shortbread, and chocolate mints. Many letters were exchanged between Baden Powell and Low discussing the amazing progress the Girl Scouts were making. One document that held the Girl Scout law and promise indicates that a Girl Scout must be trustworthy, says, "This means that a Girl Scout's standards of honor are so high and sure that no one would dream of doubting her simple statement of a fact when she says, 'This is so on my honor as a Girl Scout.' It also means that she is not satisfied with keeping the letter of the law when she really means to break it in the spirit. When she answers you, she means what you mean." Baden Powell wrote on this document, "This does not explain what honor is." This is a perfect example of the belief that a Girl Scout's honor and a Boy Scout's honor are two different things, which makes good sense as a Girl Scout's duties are different from a Boy Scout's duties. Like a girl's responsibility is to help all that she can and do everything in her power to make the world a better place. A boy's responsibility is to empower and protect those who need it most. A boy is to lead the adventure with a strong will in mind while taking others' opinion into account. A girl is to be prepared for anything that comes her way. Girl Scouts have inspired many women to become the powerful leaders and icons they are today. This organization builds courage, teamwork, trust, bravery, honesty, love, friendship, gentleness, peace, patience, goodness, loyalty, kindness, and helpfulness. One of the famous women that we know of that was a Girl Scout was Hillary Clinton, former presidential candidate and Secretary of State. She refers back to her times as a Girl Scout as being the times when she learned about hospitality, courage, truth, and leadership. Another famous person that we know of that was a Girl Scout in their youth was Dakota Fanning, who was in the Twilight series, Charlotte Webb, Coraline, The Cat in the Hat, etc. During the time that Juliette grew up, women were expected to be proper and never lose the manners they were trained to have every minute of every day. She was also deaf and diagnosed with breast cancer in 1923. Her husband died while he was trying to divorce her. Many obstacles were placed in front of Miss Low, and she never let those obstacles pull her down. In the newspaper, The Council Fire, there is an article in Spanish that states that women have no other place but in the kitchen and in the house during the housework, while the man of the house was out making the deals and making the money that supported the family. In the year 1913, a handbook was established to guide the young girls in their meetings and get-together. In the first few pages, the recreation of the original handbook describes the specific ranks and positions of the girls and their leaders. It also contains the Girl Scout promise and the salute. The salute is something that a Girl Scout must do when reciting the law and promise at the beginning of the meeting. The handbook also includes the Girl Scout law. The book describes how the first and second meetings are to go, the first and second campfire stories, indoor and outdoor meetings, and the duties of a Girl Scout. The handbook guides the girls in things such as first aid, home life, camping, and patriotism. In the past, Girl Scouts did things similar to the Boy Scouts, such as rifle, archery, and camping, but they also did things like needlework, housewifery, and home cooking. They did these so the girls could feel equal with the boys and still be able to carry out the things a woman needs to be able to. But now the Girl Scouts have evolved into more of a group that teaches girls important life lessons and how to believe in themselves and not judge other people and help them instead. In the year 1923, a devastating announcement was given to Miss Lowe. She had been diagnosed with breast cancer. She made the decision to keep this news from the Girl Scouts. She wanted to still be able to do everything she normally did without people restraining her because of her health. 10 years later, in 1927, Juliette died at the age 66. She was buried in her Girl Scout uniform in Laurel Grove Cemetery in Savannah, Georgia. Juliette Lowe was given many awards to honor her accomplishments. She was presented with the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2012 by President Barack Obama. In 1948, Harry Truman created a stamp in her honor. She was inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame in 1979, and Ronald Reagan named a new federal building after her. That building was the second federal building in American history to be named after a woman. A bust in her honor was made and displayed in Georgia State Capitol. In 2012, the 100th anniversary of the official creation of the Girl Scouts was celebrated in Savannah, Georgia. Thousands of Girl Scouts attended the event as a crossing over ceremony or as a just for fun kind of thing. There were many performers and activities for the Girl Scouts to enjoy as they celebrated this organization that created lifelong friendships. Juliette Gordon Lowe gave the female society a new hope, a hope that could potentially change the world in a way no one ever saw possible, and it did. The Girl Scouts created a new era in which girls could be whatever they wanted. By taking away restrictions on what a girl can be, Miss Lowe inspired young girls that there is so much more to them than a housewife or a trophy wife. By taking a stand against the belief that a woman has no other place than in the house, Juliette Gordon Lowe proved that there is so much more than meets the eye with a Girl Scout and any other girl out there. Juliette Lowe showed society that staying strong no matter what is more important than what everyone else thinks. She is proof of the fact that women are strong, even if we don't look like it. This is a quote by Miss Lowe that shows that there is proof of the fact that women and girls are smart and can be independent no matter what society thinks. Badges are not medals to wear on your sleeve to show what a smart girl you are. A badge is a symbol that you have done the thing it stands for often enough, thoroughly enough, and well enough to be prepared to give service in it. You wear the badge to let people service in it. You wear the badge to let people know that you are prepared and willing to be called on because you are a Girl Scout. I hope many girls will get to have this same kind of experience because that's what Girl Scouts do. They go on adventures and make memories forever.